Okay, we're good to go.
All right, hello everyone. I'd like to call to order the Wayzata School Board special meeting for April 3rd, 2020. I will give a little background information as to why we're doing this digitally. On Friday, March 13th, Governor Walz issued an executive order 2201, which declared a peacetime state of emergency pursuant to his powers under Minnesota statutes, Chapter 12, Emergency Management. This step allows school boards to meet by conference call or other electronic means under Minnesota statutes 13D-021. And well, I think we've all probably become pros at using Zoom in the past couple of weeks. I'll just quickly go over a couple of meeting protocol reminders. First of all, please identify yourself when speaking. 2, if you have any background noise at your house, please mute your microphone while listening. Number 3, please do not make use of the chat feature as this is a public recorded meeting. Number 4, all votes will be cast as roll call votes. Thank you, Madam Clerk. Number 5, in an attempt to ensure that all voices are heard, each board member will be called upon in the discussion portion of each vote. Feel free to pass if you don't have a question or comment. Does anyone have any other further suggestions or questions about the meeting protocol? All right, hearing none, would the clerk please call the roll?
Yes, absolutely. Sarah Johansson?
Here.
Bonita Lucky, here. Cheryl Poseen?
Here.
Cian Falconer?
Here.
Linda Cohen?
Here.
Chris McCullough?
Here.
Andrea King?
Here.
And Chase, did I call you Chase Anderson?
I am here.
Thank you, Bonita. All right. We have a short agenda today for the special meeting. We have 2 items under business and finance. So I will turn it over to Mr. Westrom to talk about our bid award for Kimberly Lane windows.
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair, members of the board. Just wanted to thank you for accommodating the request to hold a special meeting today. As I mentioned a little bit earlier, we do have some opportunities to accelerate some projects. And the reason why we're having this meeting today is to take advantage of the fact that our sites are not currently being used for instructional purposes and do not have staff or students within them. So the first item that I have is a bid for Kimberly Lane. And I'm trying to make it so I'm not looking off into the distance. The bid opening for Kimberly Lane Elementary window and door replacement and exterior wall rehabilitation was held at the District Administrative Building on March 10th at 2 o'clock. The scope of the project includes the removal of existing windows, doors, through-wall flashing, and associated materials, and the installation of new windows, doors, and through-wall flashing as specified. These items have reached the end of their useful life. Included and attached are the lowest responsible bidders and their base bid amount for the purposes of the contract award. For your review, you're probably aware that we go into great detail when we look at the lowest responsible bidder. And the project will be funded from long-term facility maintenance revenue. And we are recommending that ZMD Engineered Solutions, LLC, that we accept their recommendation. So the action is before you.
Thank you, Mr. Westrom. The recommended action is to award the Kimberly Lane Elementary window and door replacement and exterior wall rehabilitation to Acme Tuck Pointing and Restoration for the base bid in the amount of $489,769. Could I get a motion to approve?
I so move.
I second.
Thank you, and we'll move forward with discussion. Let's start with Sarah Johansson.
Hey, hi. No, I don't have too many questions. Just one question for Jim. So it came from ZMD. Is this one that we were taking bids for, or was this through the joint powers? And is KA still kind of overseeing that, or what's our process that we're using with this?
or Madam Chair, members of the board. This item was actually a competitive bid, so this follows our traditional bid process.
Thanks.
Any other questions or comments from Sarah? Okay, thank you. Cheryl Pulzine.
No questions at this time, thank you.
All right, Sian Falconer.
No questions.
Thank you. Chris McCullough.
No questions.
Bonita Lucky.
Pass.
Linda Cohen.
No questions.
All right, I have no questions or comments either. So all those in favor of awarding the Kimberly Lane Elementary window and door replacement and exterior wall rehabilitation to Acme Tuck Pointing and Restoration for the base bid in the amount of $489,765, please say aye.
Madam
Oh,
Chair,
sorry.
do we need a roll call?
Together?
I apologize.
Like a chorus.
Madam Clerk, could you
I'm
please
ready.
call the roll?
Bonita Lucky, yes. Cheryl Posey,
Yes,
Cian Falconer,
Yes.
Linda Cohen,
Yes.
Sarah Johansson,
Yes.
Chris McCullough,
Yes.
Andrea King.
Yes, and the motion carries unanimously. Thanks, everyone. Okay, next on our agenda, under Finance and Business, we have Oakwood Early Learning Edition, Work Scope 31A Change Order Approval. I'll hand it back over to Jim Westrom.
Yes, Madam Chair, members of the board, thank you for letting me bring this item to you. You're probably aware that you have authorized the district administration to authorize change orders unless they exceed the bid law requirement. And because this change order will exceed the requirement to go out for competitive bids, because it is over $175,000, we want to make sure we follow the appropriate. So the district's construction partners have negotiated a change order under Work Scope 31A with Peterson Companies, and the amount is $221,127.11. And the change order really is to accomplish the district's objectives in connecting Oakwood, or the actual building Oakwood, to the sanitary sewer line on County Road 6. One of the reasons why we're coming to you now is because of the lack of traffic on County Road 6. If we get this approved, we can take advantage of winter road restrictions being lifted and very little traffic on County Road 6 to basically facilitate getting this work done sooner. So the facility committee of the board has had a number of conversations regarding this matter over the last several months. We actually discovered it back in October that we were going to need to change the way that we were going to achieve our objectives. And our district construction partners and the administration at this point recommend that this change order be approved. The Oakwood original contingency budget was $965,309. This will be used to fund this, so it's not an additional cost that will come out of the general fund or any other pool. And currently we still have at least half of our contingency budget available. So we believe that this is within the resources that are available. I will also mention, and I have shared with the facility committee, that we are looking at possible remedies. There may have been a remedy under the error and emissions policy of one of our partners. So, and we have contacted legal counsel, but at this point, legal counsel has indicated us that we should go ahead and approve the change order and get the work done, and then we will go ahead and see if there are any remedies. We look at this as being prudent and looking out for the district's interest. At the same time, when you look at well over $100 million worth of projects that we've done, this really is the first time that we'll have seen something that we may need to seek a remedy from one of our construction partners. So with that, there is additional information available, but I won't go through that detail. I will ask Madam Chair to discuss the recommended action.
Thank you for that explanation, Jim. The recommended action is to approve changeover for work scope 31A in the amount of $221,127.11 to Peterson Companies. Could I get a motion to approve, please?
I so move. This is Cheryl Pulzine.
This is Chris. I'll second it.
Thank you. Okay, we'll open it up for discussion. Sarah Johansson.
Yeah, hi, thanks. Jim, just one question, and you probably talked about this at facilities. This change order, right, is on a piece of property that is definitely owned by the district, but is in a spot that our community members would not necessarily remember that that's owned by the district. And so I'm wondering about what kinds of notification practices or what communication we've had or we're planning to do to tell the adjacent properties about that we're going to do.
Yes, Madam Chair, members of the board, I'm glad that Sarah mentioned that question or that comment. We have been in contact. John Deutsch, our Director of Facilities and Transportation, has been in contact with adjacent neighbors about the work going on at Oakwood as a whole. I think most of his feedback has been very positive at this point, and I haven't heard from John that anybody has been raising any concerns. For the people who will actually be immediately adjacent to where this work will be occurring, where the lines will be hooked up to County Road 6, I think we'll do another courtesy reach out to them to let them know that we're beginning that work. We did reach out to them during the winter months, and of course with road restrictions being lifted, it is now more timely for them to know what's going to happen. On another note, we're trying to make it as minimally disruptive as possible by doing underground soil boring, directional boring, similar to what we did when we had to get a water line to Wayzata High School for the Wayzata High School edition. You're probably aware that we had to do some directional boring in the neighborhood on one side of the railroad tracks to get that water across. So at this point, if we hear any concerns, we'll definitely let the board know, but I believe that we've done a really good job, or John Deutsch has done a really good job of reaching out to the neighbors immediately adjacent to the property. Thank
All
you.
right. Thank you. Next, Cheryl Pulzine.
Thanks, Jim. If you can just remind us all, please, this change order would have happened sometime this spring anyway. We're just doing it today so that we can get started on that work sooner. Is that correct?
Yeah, thank you for the question, Madam Chair, members of the board. Actually, we have been working on this, but we have submitted for approval and have a positive feedback from both the city and from the state. So I think you were probably, being a member of the facility committee, remember that there is a less of a desire to have lift stations, and so this will be a totally gravity-fed sewer line, and the time just happens to we could have come to you in 2 weeks or at a regular scheduled meeting, but we just as we're talking to Peterson companies and not knowing what the governor is going to be ordering in the future, we thought we would try to accelerate this.
Okay, and so moving it forward isn't going to change the cost whatsoever. It just, the cost is what it is, or are we saving any money, or is it costing any more to move it forward?
Yes, thank you for that question. Actually, in talking with Cross Anderson, John Deutsch, and Wold Architects, actually Val from Wold Architects, they believe that they've negotiated this change order to the most favorable amount for the district. So any benefit of accelerating it is embedded within the price. The change order could have been more, or it could have been less in the future. I would anticipate the disruption to County Road 6 and to the community, where County Road 6 currently isn't being used heavily at this point with the governor's mandate. It's probably the correct time to do this.
Mhm. Right, okay, thank you. And when, if this is approved today, when would the work begin?
I have to kind of look at my email, but I do know that it would occur shortly after the road restrictions are lifted. But let me respond back to the entire board with the information that I have, and I'll do that via email. But I believe that it will occur within the next 30 days.
Okay, and that work should take 4 to 5 weeks to complete?
I believe so.
Okay, thank you.
I'll get you better information.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
All right, Cian Falconer,
No question. Thank you.
Chris McCullough,
No questions, thanks.
Bonita Lucky,
Pass.
Linda Cohen.
No question, thanks.
Okay, none for me either. So the recommended action is to approve the change order for work scope 31A in the amount of $227,011 to Peterson Companies. Could the clerk please call the roll?
Chris McCullough,
Yes.
Linda Cohen,
Yes.
Cheryl Posey,
Yes,
Bonita Lucky, yes. Sarah Johansson,
Yes.
Cian Falconer,
Yes.
Andrea King.
Yes. All right, the motion passes unanimously. Thanks, everyone, and thank you, Jim.
Thank you.
All right, that concludes our special school board meeting of the Wayzata Board of Education for April 3rd, 2020. Could I please get a motion to adjourn?
I so
Linda
move.
Cohen.
I'll second Linda.
All right,
All right.
Would the clerk please call the roll?
Bonita Lucky, yes. Andrea King,
Yes.
oh, no, oh, sorry, I was supposed to call you last. Ignore that. Cian Falconer,
Yes.
Linda Cohen,
Yes.
Sarah Johansson,
Yes.
Cheryl Posey,
yes.
Chris McCullough,
Yes.
Andrea King.
Yes. All right, the motion carries. We are adjourned. Thanks, everyone.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, guys.
Bye.
So long.